Alrighty, we're backstage today with Mr. Jimmy Smolka, one of our stage managers here at Hale Center Theater, and he's going to tell us what a stage manager actually does. Take it away.
Hi. Well, the main job of a stage manager is to keep the show consistent. We have all the people pre-production who put the show together with lights and sound and stage movements, and then they give it over to me, and it's my job to make sure it stays the same throughout the run. Pre-show, my main job is to make sure that the stage is ready for the show. So we make sure that everything is in the position it needs to be, anything that needs to be preset. Then once we're all set up here, we move on down and start taking care of things with the cast. A large part of taking care of the cast, and a lot of people don't realize how much work it is working with the cast to keep the show consistent. It's very common for people to want to... It's not easy to stay and do things the exact same every single day, so a large part of the stage manager's time is spent working with the cast, with the actors, with the technicians as well, making sure that everybody's still doing things the way that the directors want it.
Here we are during the show, and I'm going to do a voiceover of what the stage manager is thinking and doing. We're at the end of a Cratchit scene and the stage goes black. We have to wait, watching in the infrared monitor, for all of the cast to leave the stage except for Scrooge. And then we go ahead and start to lower the stage. We have a technician come out of one of the VOMs and strike one of the pieces. As soon as the Cratchit parents are safe and on the center stage, we go ahead and press a button for that to start to lift and spin. And all of that is being done in the dark with infrared camera. So as the lights come up here, it's starting to snow, and the Cratchits are at Tiny Tim's grave. So we're watching for the safety of each of these players, because as this spins around, there's a hole 12 feet deep right next to them, plus the amount that they're raised. We're also going to be watching through this sequence of setting the set, watching for the ghost to fly, and cueing the sound and the lights for different things going on. So as they sing the song here, the stage barely makes it up in time from striking the Cratchits for the octet to step around the grave and sing From What Child Is This? Now, the next step that's coming up is to transfer into Scrooge's graveyard. So as this part finishes up here, we're asking people to stand by with different steps along the way. You can see the script there and all these cues written into it. We're prepping and actually flying the ghost from one place to another so that he can lower in a new spot. And each time we call a standby of a certain movement, that technician replies with standing by. And then we also give a go cue, then they say going. So there's a lot of chatter that's going on headset at this same moment. Stage just went black, the center column is going down, and you can see now on the infrared camera the two Cratchits walking off stage. The ghost has flown in on your far left, and Scrooge is standing there as there is new fog coming out on stage. So we called for the fog to go, lowered the center, and now we're calling for the graveyard to enter, which is set pieces from each of the VOMs, as well as flying the ghost to a new position. Scrooge is now asking why he's here, and we cue the sound as well as the stage at the same moment so that we can have the sound of the gravestone coming up out of the floor, as well as flying the ghost to another position. And these are all done on separate cue sequences, so you actually use different buttons with your hand, and each one of them has a stop or a fail-safe that makes it so we can stop it if we need to keep someone safe. So we're watching all of these things go on at the same time. We fly the ghost a couple more times, and we skip ahead a little bit here to what's called the reveal. You can see the next cue is the reveal. We ask someone downstairs to enable the pyrotechnics mechanics. The sound guy and the light person are all paying attention, and at one moment the stage manager gives the cue and everyone goes at once, so that there's sound and fire and light, and the ghost begins to fly at a much faster rate of speed, side to side and around, and that's the kinds of things that go on. So the stage manager at certain points in the show has a lot going on at that moment. They're thinking about a lot of people's safety, talking to a lot of people, giving cues visually to a lot of people, watching on the infrared camera as well as the live stage and listening for certain cues, asking people to go with certain things, and then also telling them when to strike them so